What's up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mo TV, independent thinking for the free mind. Mad Mo on the mic here for you. Mo Musical Soul. What's going on? I'm back in Staten Island, chilling in New York with my babe. And here we go with the topic for today. It's been something that's really been on my mind for a while. And that's usually how most of my topics are. I try to think of the most in-depth, complex, intelligent topics that pertain to and relate to all of us as people throughout time, and especially in modern times of today. But on my mind today is the topic of how women pick the fathers of their children. And so I guess you could say pregnancy. You know, a lot of women, they like to have kids, and I mean, of course, a lot of women would love to be a mother. You know, it's a great experience to give life and feel a child growing inside of you, and then to give birth and to raise that child, to name them, to love them, to have that bond forever. And a lot of women, you know, they desire this very much, and to them that's like the peak of human existence, is to become a mother. And you know, in a way it is. That's how we all got here. It's how we all were raised and know who we are, and that's how the generation of humanity continues, is pregnancy and childbirth. Yes, but you know, an even bigger problem that's going on is people become parents too soon, and not even just timing, but the wrong people become parents. How many times have you met a woman who didn't even make a good babysitter, so how the hell was she going to make a good mother? And she had kids, and she ended up being horrible to her kids. She would yell at them, she would beat them, and just completely act like they were a burden. You know, it's like, well, the kids didn't ask for you to be their mom. You asked to be a mom, and they were your kids. So, you know, how could you hold them responsible when the fuck up is clearly on your part? But then there's also the even bigger issue, which is where it all starts, is who you pick to be your baby's daddy. Now, ideally, you would want to be with the same person your whole life. Like, if you're gonna have somebody's kid, you would want to be married to them, or you would want to be in a happy, sustainable relationship. And I get it. Life happens, you know? People aren't always who you thought they were. Things change. Life, what have you. But more and more I notice women just get very sloppy with picking the fathers of their kids. And it's almost just completely selfish instead of just ignorant. I mean, it starts off as you think a guy's cute and you think he's cool, or maybe the bad guy's your type. But you're not focused on, does he have a good background? Is he a criminal? Does he work? Does he go to school? Does he have a future, or is he just pissing and shitting his life away? You know, it's nice to have fun with somebody, and it's nice to find them to be attractive, but you can't have a sustainable relationship or kids or a life with somebody just because of how good they look or how tough they act. Especially in the position of the man who's going to be the father, your husband, you know, whoever he'll be to you, but especially the father to the child. This guy has to have a job. That's how he's going to support and pay for you and the child. This guy has to have a clean record. If he's in jail, he can't work and thus won't have money to support you and the child. This guy has to have respect for you, or the child's going to see that, hey, I can disrespect my mom, and my dad disrespects my mom too. Have standards, women, is what I'm saying. When you are interested in a guy, ask yourself, what are you looking for? I mean, it's got to be more than just looks. Looks are only on the outside. You can't pay bills with looks. You can't get out of jail free with looks. You know, you can't raise a kid with looks. So looks are appealing and they get your attention, but what locks you into that relationship has got to be who that person is and how they live their life. Do they have a job? Are they in school? Are they clean with no drug problems, no alcohol problems, no violent problems, no anger problems, no criminal history, not in jail or going to jail? Or how are they just as a person? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they helpful? Are they a burden? You have to understand, When you're having a child with someone, you're not just sharing the last name. That's the last thing you're sharing, hence last name. It's also the last thing you're sharing. The first thing you're sharing is the genetics. If this guy you're with has bad, blood pressure or heart disease, that's going to be passed on to your child. Same thing for mental retardation or any mental issues, anger, just like eye color. Everything that makes us up is who we are. From our mother and our father's side, we get 50-50. So you're not just sharing that last name, you're sharing the entire genetical DNA strand with this person into making another life. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth screwing up 3 lives? First, the child's life, because they're the most innocent. They didn't ask for it. You and the father made it happen. Second, your life, because you'd have to face the facts of you made the mistake and now you're hurting your child and yourself. And then thirdly, yes, the miserable should have never been picked to be a father or a baby daddy nigga, because he's gonna blame you. Obviously, that's what a nigga would do. He wouldn't take responsibility or rise up and be a man. That's not what niggas do. No. Real men do that. Niggas complain and hate to explain. So this is my message to you ladies. Know that you want to be a mom, that you actually want to be a mother, have a child grow inside of you, and raise that child and love that child and take time to have that real relationship with that child, not just for bragging rights to say, oh, I'm a mother, oh, I had a baby, yes, I was pregnant. No, all that shit's just bullshit, and then you're just gonna be one of the next future shitty-ass moms I was talking about in this video earlier. You have to actually want to be a parent to be a good parent. It's just like if you want to be an accountant, you gotta want to be good with numbers. If you want to be famous, you gotta want to be good with public and people. If you want to be a parent, you gotta want to love kids. You gotta want to be a good parent. It's not just, oh, well, it's easy, it'll be done for me, or it'll come to me. This isn't magic. It's not a magic trick. You are deciding to create a human life. And with that human life, you need to most certainly consider that, yes, you can handle being a mother, you could raise that child and take care of that child, but second of all, that you're picking the right father for that child, because that's a connection that will last forever. You're sharing the last name, you're sharing the genetics, and you're either making or breaking your child's life between putting the right or wrong father in their life. Would you rather raise your child in a stable home and they could go to the same school and have friends in the neighborhood and have a decent life where they can adapt as a normal adult? Or would you rather have your child struggling through abuse and neglect and violence and homelessness and school to school to school and baby mama, baby daddy drama? Understand, this is your life. But when you have a child, that becomes a whole other life, and that life is innocent. You make all the decisions for that life until that child turns 18 and they're an adult. If you want to be a good parent, if you want to have a good relationship with your kid, make sure you start by picking the right father for that child. Don't just sleep with a guy because he's attractive. Don't just have his baby because, oh, I'm in fear I'll go to hell if I have an abortion. You're going to be living hell on earth if you have the wrong guy's kid. Which do you think is more severe? Supposedly going to hell because nobody who's alive told you you would die and go to hell if you did? Or knowing that you picked the right choice and the right father for your kid, and even if you made a mistake but got pregnant, you eliminated that mistake so that you didn't ruin those lives. I mean, feel how you feel about abortion, that's up to you. In my mind, you can't kill something that hasn't been born yet. So, in my mind, abortion isn't death, because you're either preventing a accident from happening, which would be having a child with the wrong guy, or, you're preventing another accident, which would be, hey, teenage pregnancy, you're not ready. Obviously, that would be a shitty life for you and the kid. So I don't consider it murder, because it is the woman's choice. It's your body, it's your life, but understand, when you decide to make that life, that becomes 2 lives, and then that's completely on you. So I wish you ladies the best of luck. For all my ladies in the world, I just want us all to be happy and healthy. But when you decide to become a mother, please be responsible and pick a good father for your child. Don't look for looks. Looks are okay, but look for personality. Look for mentality. Look for financial. Look for future. Look for educational. Somebody who's working, somebody who's going to school, somebody who is in school, somebody who is going to be working, somebody who has respect for women, who loves women, who helps women, somebody who has a good relationship with their mother. Unfortunately, not all of us can have good relationships with our mothers. It doesn't make us all guilty of it. However, there are those cases where the guy's a real nut job and he hates his mother for reasons she can't even explain. Just do your research and have safe sex, okay? Don't ever buy that bullshit about it feels better with the condom off. The condoms are so thin, you barely feel them. It literally is just a thin layer of protection. So please, have safe sex. Safe sex is the best sex. But outside of that, pick the right man. Not a guy, not a nigga, not a bum. The right man. The man who will love you the way you deserve to be loved, respect you the way every woman should be, and provide for you and that child so he can be there to provide a good life and help you raise that child to be a sustainable, happy human being. Thank you guys for joining me today. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video. I'll see you next Friday on MoTV, independent thinking for the free mind. Deuces.